This afternoon, the federal Liberal government tabled its first budget under Prime Minister Mark Carney. The PM promised an austerity budget, while Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne said it offers generational investments. The $581 billion budget increases Canada's deficit from $51.7 billion to $78.3 billion in 25-26. CTV's Brenden Purdy joins us now in studio. Brenden, what are some of the key highlights for Alberta in today's budget?
Well, Jeff, the feds have earmarked $280 billion over 5 years for capital investments, a chunk of that falling under the Build Communities Strong Fund. $51 billion over a decade will target local infrastructure projects. One major point for Albertans comes in the oil and gas sector with tax credit commitments, including the extension of full credit rates for carbon capture, utilization, and storage, plus a clean electricity tax credit. The budget states the deployment at scale of technologies such as carbon capture and storage would create the circumstances whereby the oil and gas emissions cap would no longer be required.
The idea that somehow there's a chance here to try and help the oil and gas industry is recognition, of course, that it is very important to the Canadian economy. And if I can't deliver pipelines, then I'm at least going to deliver things that will help try and stimulate investment in a key sector within the Western economy. And if that does anything to try and boost the local initiatives and spending opportunities, that's fantastic.
The budget outlining $110 billion over 5 years for regional economic development initiatives, something endorsed by the local business community.
Yes, while the deficit is growing, we are still encouraged by this budget because ultimately this spending is really encouraging to make sure that the business community is growing.
Now at the Alberta Legislature today, Finance Minister Nate Horner was asked what was missing from this budget.
There was no, clarity around an Alberta-focused major project, but I also need to reference that those conversations are still being had, so that's a little bit of a wait and see.
A large chunk of funding has also been laid out for defense and security, $81.8 billion over half a decade to rebuild, rearm, and reinvest in the Canadian military. Now, we've talked a lot about spending, but how about cuts? The feds are looking to reduce $60 billion in government spending over these next 5 years, including 28,000 public service job cuts by 2028-29. Jeff?
All right, Brenden, thank you.